What are the cycles fathers pass down that sons are left to heal? What if being a man wasn't about holding it all together, but learning how to let go? This is a space where men speak truth and find the power to heal and transform. I'm Mike Della Rocha. Welcome to Sacred Lessons.
Welcome to Sacred Lessons. I'm Mike Della Rocha, and I'm honored to speak with Jerry Garcia, one of today's funniest comedians, someone I've watched rise from Huntington Park stages to a nationally acclaimed HBO special. But beyond the spotlight, he's a father of 3 boys using humor and his Latino roots to hold space for healing, for laughter, and for fatherhood. So welcome, Jerry.
What's up, Mike?
Yeah, thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of this.
Appreciate it, big dog.
Yeah, and I just want to first just honor you. When we first met, seeing you, like I said in that intro, from Huntington Park to the HBO special, but something that folks may not know is you sold out the Ford Amphitheater. And as a co-owner at the Pizza Coffee, we were so excited to sponsor that because we knew how important it was for 3 Latino men to sell out an iconic theater in LA. And so before we even start, I just want to say congratulations and thank you for being who you are.
Oh, thank you, Mike. Thanks for having me, bro. It's not a one-man show, obviously, even though it's stand-up comedy when you're up there by yourself. It definitely is this tour that I think is very important for Latinos, for our culture, for 3 different generations. Shout out to Concrete, Duno, and obviously myself. It's a 3-headed monster tour, and it's literally 3 generations, man. I'm 45, Concrete about to hit 40, still in his 30s technically, and Duno's 25 years old. So we've come from 3 different perspectives, and I think we're really unifying Latino culture and what it is, like from 3 different eyesights point of view, 3 different POVs. And I think that's what's been hitting pretty big overall as the tour goes along. And it was a really proud moment for all of us, man.
Yeah, I could tell from looking at the photos and the video, and I was sharing with you, I was young when I was on that stage, and it felt, I'm just saying, as a brown man, to see you and to hear you now talk about like, hey, I wasn't even sure if we could sell it out. I told you.
Yeah.
But actually you sold it out, and there were probably hundreds that wanted a ticket, you know?
No, there was waiting lists.
And so in reflection, how does that make you feel? Like,
well, it just feels like that we're doing something right. And that we are representing our people like as we should, man. Obviously through comedy, we have fun. The best thing is we laugh with each other and at each other. It's how Latinos do.
Yeah.
That's how we move. It just makes me feel that I just feel that we're doing we're making the right moves, and we're representing our people the right way, and that's what makes me the most proudest of it all. We're not being fake. We're all genuine. You know, Duno, it goes off the cuff. He's super wild, super crazy, and Concrete's obviously figuring it out on himself with these crazy skits, and I'm more of the writer type of thinker type of situation, and I think we all just make a great team, but. As far as myself, I'm very proud of who I am, of what I do, of what I represent. Mexicans, Central Americans, Latinos, East LA, Southeast LA, just Cali, Southern Cali, everything, bro. Like it just, that's who I am, bro. Like that, who I am is who I am, bro. Every day.
and have you always been like that? That sense of pride that you exude right now? Like,
pretty much, bro. I mean, again, growing up on Huntington Park, that's all I knew. I didn't leave Huntington Park until like I was like almost 18, dude. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't go to the beach until like I was about 18. And I never left my town. It's all I knew. It's all I consumed every day. So it's all I knew. So it's still everything I kind of know now. Mm. It's still with me. But now I get to see the country. Like this weekend I was with Gabriel Iglesias in Atlantic City and Vermont and Pennsylvania. You know, the place I've never ever been in my life before, dude. I mean, making white people laugh and through my jokes, through the stories that I write. And so, I mean, it just all comes together and I'm doing it my way. It's dope, man.
Yeah, it's amazing. And
I don't change my act for anybody. When I'm East Coast, I don't change my act. I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm in Allentown, Pennsylvania. 5,000 white people laughing, and I'm just enjoying every minute of it, man. And I love to make everyone laugh, bro, no matter where you're from.
So culture and comedy is being your vehicle to tap into folks that maybe, you know, assumption-wise is like these 5,000 white folks, they're not going to care about Latino culture, but you're obviously it's a different story with you, right?
Yeah. It's not that I force them to care. It's just through laughter, bro.
Yeah.
It's just through a mutual feeling that we all have, no matter what color you are, where you from, bro. Like, it's funny as funny, dude. And a lot of it's because I ran about my kids and my material is about family. So it doesn't matter what color you are, bro. Like, if it's gonna hit, it's gonna hit, dude.
So let me ask this, because you mentioned family. I was really excited about this conversation because you're a father of 3 boys.
Yes, sir.
And you use them a lot in your content. How did that happen and how do they feel though? I mean, they're older now since that HBO special, but like, you talk so much about, I was talking smack with my wife watching your show about your stepfather's kid, you know? And so like, why did you make that choice and how did they feel knowing that?
When I first started talking about my kids, they were obviously very young and I only had 2 at a time. When I first started talking about them, as I was writing, when I was first coming up in comedy, you're trying to find yourself. Again, I'm from Southeast LA, talking my slang, so forth and so on. But that doesn't always connect with everybody. I couldn't find myself at the time, so I was just making just general cholo jokes and hood jokes and, dating jokes, and just it wasn't great. And so then I just realized, you know what? I got to talk about what I know. And what I know is being a dad, being at home with these kids that, stressed me the shit out, but I love them no matter what. And so I started talking about that part, like taking them to Chuck E. Cheese and what that's like, changing, whatever, their tantrums and so forth. And so let's just talk about what I know and what I live every day. And that's that. And then at that time, unfortunately, my marriage fell apart early on. So then that happened. Then I had to face that situation of being a single dad and co-parenting and sharing my children with other people, stepdads. And so instead of being angry about it and bitter about it, I wanted to make fun about it and have, I was disguising my pain.
Right.
I really was. Because I was really jealous of the stepdad. I was jealous of that situation, of this guy, of the new man in my kid's life. And so I had to check myself, bro, because at the end, I realized, dog, this guy has the right intentions for my kids. I learned that early. My kids would talk highly about him. And they would say good things about, hey, he was good. He took us to the park. We played basketball. We went to the movies. And at first, I'm getting jealous, but then I'm like, hey, this guy's actually helping me out. Like, he's showing my kids cool things. And so I started to write about it. And so I think then that started connecting. And obviously, they worked. People started laughing at the stepdad situation, and I just ran with it, even though that relationship didn't last long. He was gone within a few months, but the point is, he left his presence and my jokes forever, dog.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of men, including myself, we use jokes as a way to hide how we truly feel and to mask our feelings. And what I feel, what I like about you is you lean in. Intentionally, obviously.
Yeah.
But talk about that just in terms of why do you think it's so difficult for men just to be honest and not have to throw a joke in there?
Well, it's because we can't show vulnerability, right? We can't show weakness, dog, at the end of the day, dog. Especially like where I came from, fool, you couldn't, man. I'm not a big guy, don't let this manly stature fool you, dog. Like this, I've never been very tough and big, but you have to show face, dog. Yeah. You have to at least act it, And
what would happen if you didn't, though?
I guess you get pushed around, bullied, get your snack, get your lunch money taken away, dog. Which I never did. I never got bullied. People look at me and for sure got bullied. Nah, I never did. Thanks to my humor, dog. I was always a funny guy. People didn't want to mess with the funny guy.
Right.
Whenever there was a bullying situation, somebody who's like bigger wants to take my shit or take something from me. There was always somebody there like, don't mess with him, bro. Like, he's cool, dude. He's funny. Like, he's a good guy. And so I think comedy kind of saved me in that situation too.
So it sounds like comedy was your
shield.
Your shield,
yeah,
but also your weapon. Because I knew not to punk you because you would talk shit about me, right? Yeah. I'm trying to unpack all this. Obviously, different cultures and just men and gender in general. There's this prevailing notion that if we show any sign of vulnerability, we're weak.
Yeah.
And so therefore you have to be strong, and strong is very masculine, and, oftentimes being not who you are to fake it so you don't get hurt, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And, I grew up that way. And as I'm getting older and my kids are getting older.
We get softer, huh? We do.
But I'm
super
also,
soft
but
now,
it's,
dog.
what I'm realizing is like, yes, and being softer is harder than being hard. Because everything around me is telling me, yo, don't cry or don't show this emotion because then you are weak. But I'm like, actually, if I don't show that, I'm going to die like my dad did at 66.
Yeah.
Because he held up all his emotion in his body and his body started to break down.
Yeah.
And that's what happens for too many men.
Facts.
And so, I'm trying to tease this out. I don't know the answer, but these are the questions I have, especially because my son is in middle school. And so I'm like, do I raise him the way my dad raised me? Or do I raise him a different way or a blend and all of that? And I guess like, with your sons, how you were raised, did you raise them differently in this issue of like strength or vulnerability or whatever?
No, I definitely differently, bro. Differently. Yeah. They're different. They're definitely connected to themselves and to their feelings. Which is weird. It's just, it's the world that we live in now, bro. I'm of course gonna accept it. Like, I never really hugged or kissed my dad often or at all. Yeah. And I had no problems with that. Obviously, that's what, we're not supposed to be hugging up and kissing up on each other. But it's funny because now I do. I kiss my kids all the time on their cheek, like every day. Like, good morning, good night, give them a kiss. My grown-ass high school kids, man. I'm like, come here, man, where you at? How you been? And give them a kiss on the cheek. That's something I never did with my father ever until as an adult. Until like in my 30s, I started hugging when I saw my dad more fragile. Right. That's when I started like hugging my dad, embracing him more and giving him his kiss on his cheek and hola papi, ¿cómo estás? And I give him a kiss. My dad, if I was as a teenager, if I would do that to my father would flip out. Like, whoa, what the hell are you doing, bro? Like, back up, homie. Right. But now even even my father has changed as well. He's become more like sensitive and easygoing because he's still with us. Thankfully, I lost my mom this year, man. But my dad's still with us, and so he gets it now. He knows. You're right. Like it would have ate him up alive if he would have continued to be that person, dog. So now he's very more soft. He's a softie. He's a teddy bear now. But not me, man. And you're talking about your son in middle school. Like, what grade?
He's in 7th grade.
Okay, my son just entered 6th grade, my youngest, my 10-year-old. And he still believes in Santa Claus, dog. Like, he genuinely dead ass believes in Santa Claus, bro, at 10 years old. Maybe not so much as a tooth fairy. I think he's starting to lose some of the tooth fairy feel because he just lost his tooth a couple months ago, put it under the pillow. We forgot, bro. We didn't put nothing in there. And he kind of at that point figured out, like, maybe there is no tooth fairy. But Santa Claus, I don't know if he's just playing us to get what he wants.
Right.
Maybe there's some of that also there. But he comes with a genuine feel and belief in Santa Claus when he talks about him. When he talks about him, still like at 9 years old and 10 years, this last Christmas, he still talks about like, yo, man, you think Santa found out about the time that I got in trouble? This, hey, dude, like, you think Santa could bring 2 gifts instead of 3 gifts this year? Like, he's trying to figure shit out which is cute as shit. But at the same time, you're like, bro, you're also 9, dog. Like, is this fake? Are you playing me, dog? Are you for real? I don't want him to. I don't want to question it, bro. Like, I don't want to like talk him out of any situation. But I also worry for him because now he's in middle school, dog. And how middle school could be. You're middle school. Now he's a middle school child believing in Santa Claus. I don't know if that's a good.
I mean, that's the tension, right? That you use humor to discuss on stage.
Yeah.
But also for me, I'm trying to unpack. Like, what was the reason that you started being more emotionally or physically affectionate with your dad? Was it because you saw him starting to get frail?
Yeah, I think it was that, bro. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. And me just being a grown-ass man at 30-something years old, whenever that happened, and just seeing my dad just being more vulnerable.
Yeah.
Dog. And being just seeing him slow down and not being able to work and be as strong.
Right.
And then that's when I started. Yeah, I remember just one day just hugging him and kissing him and him being okay with that. I don't know how exactly it happened. I just remember it just organically happening.
And it happens regularly now?
Yeah, bro. Now I see my dad every time I see my dad, which is not often. He lives up in the Inland Empire. So when I do see him, yeah, of course, go in for the hug and the kiss and I miss you. How you been? How you doing? And the goodbye is the same, bro. And there's no ifs or buts about it now, dog.
Yeah, and my hope for this conversation is 2 fathers.
Yeah.
With 2 sons pretty much the same age. And coming up in the generation we did, where, my dad loved me more than life itself. But mi abuelo never said, mijo te amo, I love you. So therefore, I never really heard those words growing up. And I always wanted to, I try to act on macho like, oh, I didn't need to hear it. No, but I do. And I still do, you know? And with this new generation, it is different. And I'm trying to figure out like, how can I teach my son to do what I'm doing in my 40s and not wait till he's 40, if that makes sense. To be more like, just tell me, don't hold it in, And obviously he's going through mood changes and all this other stuff. But I just want to figure out a more healthier version of what being a man and a Latino man is today. And I know, looking at my grandfather, looking at my father, they taught me beautiful stuff. They also taught me things that were really unhealthy. And there's no judgment or shame, obviously, But I'm just trying to figure out, like, do I do my son a disservice? Do we do our sons a disservice if we say, hey, stop believing in Santa Claus? Or, hey, act hard, because if not, you're going to be punked. But actually, a lot of folks that I see around them, they're just being themselves. Like, bro, you're confident in who you are right now. And obviously, as a young kid, you're not. But this is that tension, if that makes sense. And trying to figure out how to unpack that.
Man, I think at the end of the day, bro, we're leading by example, man. The kids eat up everything we do, whether we're paying attention to it or not, dog. Like, they know everything. They pay attention. The kids look up to us, obviously, right? And they know, and whatever we do, it's gonna affect them, whether we notice it or not. So I think what I'm trying to tell you is that we're already doing that. We're already molding them into the men they're gonna become, without even realizing it. You know what I'm saying? I again, my kids just remind me of me a lot, and I have a running joke with my kids, or like, and again, I don't know if this is right or not, but my thing is, I was like, men don't cry, bro. Like, men don't cry. And the only reason I say that is because I don't want them crying for any little dumb reason, right? Since they were young. Okay, guys, men don't cry. Men don't cry. And then I go, if you cry, it has to be for a real purpose. And I would tell them that, bro, they're 10, 11, 12, 13. They were young. And I'll be like, bro, your tears gotta mean something, bro. Like, I only want to see you cry if something very, like, harsh happened to you, or like a death in the family, dog, or a pet died, or you lost something that really means a lot to you. Then you could cry, bro. I'm not going to judge you, bro, but I don't want you crying because you didn't get the Happy Meal you wanted, or you didn't get the shoes you wanted, or your girlfriend broke up with you. I don't want to hear that at 10, 12 years old, bro. Like I want your tears to cry, because I'm not much of a crier. I don't cry, dog. Like, I've never been cry. As I'm getting older, and I'm becoming a little bit more softer, dog.
But what made you have those boundaries, not just be expressive in general? Like, what made you inside say, hey, you can only cry if someone dies, or you like, what was that? Is that something?
Honestly, dude, not to overthink it, dog. I think my only purpose was because I just didn't want them crying for every little freaking reason, bro. Like, I had for every little tantrum. And I didn't want to, and they're not like that. Like, They only cry when it's necessary. So I don't know. I don't know if that's the right way or the wrong way.
No.
I don't know. For me, it was just like, I don't want you to cry because you didn't get your chicken nuggets, dog. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to have those children. I want you guys. So I would always tell them, I want your tears to mean something, dog. I don't want, because you got a fail in your math class. Don't cry over it. Do something about it. Get better. Improve. Do better next time, but don't cry about it. Like, little things like that, dude. Like, I don't know, whatever it is, I don't want you crying. Go clean your room. I'm gonna cry. I don't want to clean my room. No, I don't want you crying for dumb stuff.
Right. And what's been their response?
I feel like it's worked. My kids don't cry. They rarely cry. But I don't know if that's good or not, dog. Again, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if I affected them in a harsh, worse way. But my little one is a baby. He cries more often. The 10-year-old. He is more softer, and he does, and I let him cry. I'm not gonna judge him, but I do remind him. I go, was that worth crying for, bro? Yeah. Was that worth crying, really, dude? Because you didn't go to the movies with your mom, with your friends. That was worth crying. Right. No, well, we're right then. Come on, man, save those tears for something more important. And I even reminded him, my mom passed away in April, and I cried a lot, fool. I cried for days. I cried for weeks. I cried for a long time. And I would tell my kids, bro, like, this is what's worth crying for, dog.
You're modeling.
Yeah.
You're modeling that.
Yeah, and I think I was kind of like able to emphasize my point, because they would never see me cry. My kids had never seen me cry until my mom passed away.
Well, it's funny. My grandmother passed away at my parents' house, and my grandfather was holding her left hand, and I was holding her right. And even then, I looked over to my dad, and
He didn't cry.
he didn't cry. There's a part in my book where the first time I ever saw him cry was Christmas Eve. That's when we open. Santa Claus keeps coming into this conversation, but I was staying at my parents' house, and I saw the lights on downstairs, and I'd given my dad a Neil Diamond box set and cigars, and I was always tripping out because I was like, how's this Mexicano that immigrated to Boyle Heights, but he's so in love with this Jewish guy from Brooklyn, New York,
True.
And because he had these songs like, they come into America, like he was the immigrant story, but toward
He liked
from
that
the,
song.
yeah.
That's partly what did it for him. Yeah.
But bro, I walked down and I can still, like, as if this was yesterday, I came to turn off the lights and I look and he's by himself on the recliner crying, listening to Neil Diamond. And I just froze because we don't have these conversations.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the vocabulary. I didn't know what to do, bro. Like, you see your dad cry for the first time. And again, he didn't cry when my grandmother died. This is remembering Mexico, remembering all this shit that he had to go through. Yeah.
Inside of him, dude, coming out.
So dog, I froze.
Yeah. How old were you?
I was late 20s.
Yeah. Damn.
Early 30s. No, late 20s.
That's not that long ago, bro.
It wasn't. And that's my point. Like, even in my own evolution, I like disrupted this moment of healing because I was taught, don't cry by him. And then I didn't know, like, what do you do as two men when you see someone cry? You just kind of like, and bro, I get emotional thinking about it because, like, if that would have happened now and he was still with me, I probably would have just came over and just tried to say, it's okay to cry, Papa. But what my reaction was, like, don't cry, to my own dad.
Yeah. Did you tell him that?
I just said, I didn't say those words exactly, bro, but I said it.
Yeah.
By
kind of like almost
unspoken.
follow your own rule. Kind of, you're like reminding him of his own rule.
And it was that moment
It was
where,
just natural.
and he looked at me, man, and I'll never forget, bro. Like, I was like, it's almost like, hey, he wanted to say, like, mijo, like, don't do what I'm doing. But I had ruined the moment at that point.
Yeah.
And I tried to get it back and it was done,
Yeah.
And I always think about that because I was like, I've been conditioned by society, by my father, my grandfather, don't cry. But then when I catch you crying, which is actually helping, we're supposed to cry.
That's actually a good thing.
You know?
Yeah.
And so it was like, and that's why with my son, I'm like you, bro. I'm trying to find that balance.
There's a medium. I know there's a
right?
balance.
There's a balance. But I think so much, in your comedy, you're not just making people laugh. Like when I watch you, like I study you, bro, and you're teaching people. Like these are difficult conversations. So it's not like we're going to have this at a bar, but you're doing it through comedy, but you're also bringing up issues of like sexuality. And there's other things that are like kind of taboo to talk about. So, was that intentional? Are you working out all these things in your mind on this stage? Like, tell me more about that.
I think some of it is obviously it's intentional because it's in my head, it's in my thoughts, in my process. So yeah, when I do write a bit, especially if it's like I'm pushing I'm not really. I think that bit in particular was about I don't care if my kid was gay, I love him no matter what. Now his boyfriend, F that guy, but at that time it was just a joke that I thought was funny, clever, but it has some intentionality in it behind it. Now I'm not like now today 2025 Jerry, because that joke was like 2018 Jerry. It's like I'm not as proud of it anymore. Obviously, there's more growth with me now. At the time, I thought that was funny. But when I watch it, sometimes I hear it or remember it, I'm just like, I don't think I would say that anymore. 2025 I wouldn't say that no more. Right. But again, there is intentionality in pretty much everything I write, dog. It's just at the time, but it's also at the time, at the moment, right? Yeah, dog. Like everything has its own little meaning and purpose for it.
Right.
There's definitely for sure. It represents me at that moment, though. You know, so I can't say I'm always proud of all the material I've done. There's some material that I'm like, I kind of cringe now that I've done. Like kind of like there's like a wet bag joke that I used to do, a wet bag joke. Like, we're not wet bags because we didn't swim here, we ran. We're running backs. Like, that's an old joke again that I look back, I'm like, ugh. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I would say that anymore. But at that time, I thought that's 2015 Jerry, dog. Like 2014 right. Jerry. So like, again, so yeah. So to answer your question, yes, there's intentionality in everything I write. But then, damn, like, you kind of still like judge for it later too, you know? And
well, this is this whole, you know, truthfully, my closest friends are like, are you sure you want to do this podcast?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? And they're like, because it uncovers a lot.
Yeah, it does, though.
It uncovers both my own, like what I'm sharing with you. It's, you know, I don't.
Yeah.
That's a lot that I'm sharing.
Yeah, you don't go around just telling people, everybody. Yeah.
But also, they can look back on 2015 Mike that's different than 2025 Mike, just like you.
Yeah.
And we live in this time of canceling when we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know? And you know, I wanted to ask you about that because I watched the special was 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
Right? And you're different.
It dropped 2019, but I filmed it 2018.
And you're a totally different person.
Right before the pandemic.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So what do you say to other men that don't want to take the leap of faith or just like share what their thoughts are because they're like, hey, I don't want to get canceled, bro. I'm just gonna keep it inside.
Well, it depends what format they're doing it on too, dog. We can't just be encouraging people to speak their minds all the time either, dog, because there are, you know, certain rules to the game as well, you know? There's ways to express yourself correctly, right? I mean, social media is also taking it to a whole different level too, where like people overspeak, dog, and you know, they talk basically out of their ass a little too much. Just have a little bit more, you know, thought and planning in what you're gonna talk about, what you want to emphasize. That's what I do now, bro. I'm very careful, dog. Like, of course, I still keep it light. I still be myself, you know, but I'm also very careful. Like, bro, like I don't want to just get myself in trouble for some dumb thought that just came out of my head, you know. But hey,
let me ask you, you're on tour with two other comedians, and they're 3 generations.
Yeah.
So are they looking up to you for this kind of?
Yes and no. I mean, of course they look up to me and the joke writing process and how to deliver a punchline and so forth and so on. But they're still there themselves. Man, I mean, like Duno, bro. Like Duno's 25, bro. He talks about those most insane, gnarly, crazy things these kids are going through right now. Like they still how they still call each other B words, you know? Oh, they still call each other bitches and this and that and the, you know, oh man, like, and I'm just like, whoa, bro, like, yeah, that was me, dog. 20 years ago, that was me, bro. I'm not that guy no more, but he's still there. You see, that's his life right now. That's his world, dude. And I'm not gonna stop him from that. Like, bro, do you, homie. And you know, Concrete is another wild specimen himself, dude. So he's just all over the place as well. But he's funny and he gets it. He does put a little bit more thought about what he wants to, you know, accomplish on stage. So I help them structure their sets. And I just help them, all right, man, you should say it like this, emphasize this part, say this, set them up here, punchline there, so forth and so on. That's kind of my job with them, bro. I'm not going to change who they are. Of
course.
But I am going to warn them, like, yo, just be careful, dog. I can come back to you later if you keep talking shit like that. But
you're bringing up a lot. You're learning a lot.
Yeah.
Because, you know, typically I don't meet a comedian that has this intergenerational opportunity to both learn, like like even yesterday, I learned a new term. They asked, hey, how was your weekend? I was like, oh, I just chilled. And they're like, oh, you were rotting?
Oh, rotting. Couch rotting? I heard about couch rotting. Yeah.
I'm an old man. But
no, I'm trying to keep up too. Trust me. I just learned that one too. I heard it as couch rotting.
Yes.
Couch rotting.
But what is the lesson you've learned from this journey, specifically with those 2 Latino men, just in terms of anything? But like, because I'm hearing you mentor and guide. I'm also hearing you like accept and love them to be who they are. Don't change them.
Yeah.
But like, you know, you're in a unique position. Like, what have you got from this whole thing?
Man, I honestly haven't put much thought into it, Mike. I'm just enjoying the moment. We're having tons of laughs everywhere we go. Man, dude, it's a whole new experience for me. Because obviously as a stand-up comic, most of the time you're out there on your own. Like I've toured a long time by myself, just hitting the road. You know, and so now as a group setting, I'm really enjoying it, dude. I just like it's more feels like a more team effort. So I don't know exactly and it's still going on, Mike. Yeah. So it's like it's more of a situation where like I don't know what I'm living right now. I'm just enjoying it, dog. We're like having a good time. We're making good money. Like I'm paying my bills. Like it's cool, dude. Like it's a refreshing way to tour. Because for a long time I've toured, like after the special. So when my special dropped in 2019, the pandemic hit. So my whole tour year, 2020, I had a whole 50 tour date in 2020 just canceled, gone. And so then I had to restart in 2021 and remind people I have a special and shit and this and so forth, and then carry from there. So then I toured in 2021, but it was a little different because the special had been out for over a year now, dog. So like, so now I'm kind of like restarting all over. So I toured for a long time from 2021 to like 2023. I toured by myself, man. And it was a lot of lonely, sad, empty shows, empty nights, empty, venues. And it was tough, man. It was tough. So eventually I started, gaining some steam again. Some stuff started going viral. Some of my clips started going viral. So I was able to bring myself back up again. Then I met people like Concrete and Duno, and they're like, "Yo, man, we want to get into stand-up as well. Let's do something together." And it just took off from there. 2024.
So, 2025 or even 2026. What would Jerry tell 13-year-old Jerry?
That dreams do come true, dog. Because about 13 years old is when I realized that I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. That's when at about 13, I was in 8th grade. And that's when I discovered what stand-up comedy is, because a teacher told me. I was always the class clown. I was very funny since I was in elementary, all throughout middle school. And every teacher would tell me one day, at that time, we're talking about 1993, they're like, "You're going to be the next Eddie Murphy. You're going to be the next Jim Carrey. You're going to be the next Richard Pryor will be thrown out there. Paul Rodriguez. You're going to be the next one, man." And I didn't know who these people were besides them being actors. I just knew them as actors. I didn't know what stand-up was. And then there was a teacher who introduced me. This is stand-up. They gave me like brought an album. I think it was Eddie Murphy Raw. Like, I can't let you borrow this, but this is what he does, stand-up, and there's tracks and so forth. The point is, that's the time where I realized, bro. Then a few years later, like in 96, 97, late high school, I learned about George Lopez. And then now there's George Lopez. Dog, there's freaking George. There's a Mexican man, brown, sweaty, ugly, just like me. Bro, that's our voice. That's him. That's who I was waiting, because I never connected to Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Jim Carrey, even Paul Rodriguez. I didn't really know who he was. I had never seen him. So when I saw George Lopez on TV, I was like, damn, that's it. That's the guy. That's the one right there, bro. And of course, he was hilarious. And then that's it. Ever since then, that's when I knew I'm going to be a stand-up comic. And I want to get those laughs. And I want to get that. I want to get that feeling that he's getting up there on stage. And so, I said that like at 18. I didn't start comedy until I was 29. So I was nervous. I don't want to set myself to fail. Try and fail and never try again. So I waited for my time. I wanted to study the game, what it's like. And of course, real life comes into play. Got to pay bills, got to get a job, got to go to school, got to go to college, got to find myself. And it took me a long time to find myself until my first two borns were babies. They were 1 and 2. I'm about to be 30 years old. And I'm like, bro, I'm about to be 30. I got 2 kids. My life is going, I got a part-time job. I ain't shit, bro. Like, I want to do something with my life. And comedy called me. I got back to comedy. I'm like, what do I really want to do? I want to do comedy. I'm about to be 30. I want to be able to say that I at least tried it. If I fell on my face, I got it out of my system, and let's move on with my life and find a real job. But once I hit comedy at 29, dog, no looking back, fool. That was it. I was hooked. It was a drug, and I never wanted to stop, and I never stopped since, dude. And it just kept going from there.
I want to honor you because I'm thinking of someone in particular right now that I believe we're all brought into this world with gifts and talents, or shay, you call it. And life's about remembering what that gift is. But then society, the job, everything beats you down to get away. And then you're paying bills and struggling raising 2 kids. And your resilience to stick through, but not just to stick through, bro, that discipline, but to listen to your inner voice and be like, nah, I'm going to do this. and then it becomes a drug.
Yeah.
And then becomes who you really are.
Yeah.
And so I just want to honor that because there's a lot of in between.
There is a lot in between,
you know? And with that being said, I guess, one of my final questions I'm always asking folks, because you say a lot on stage, probably a lot of stuff you say on stage is probably hard for you to say off stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a whole, well, let me ask you that. Why is that first? Then I want to ask you a question.
Because obviously it's an act, right? So it's easier to hide yourself behind an act, dog.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easier to say things that are difficult to say because you're on stage. It's of course it's coming out easier because you can always just fall back and say it's a joke, dog. It's a joke. I don't really mean it. You know, this and that, so forth and so on. So yeah, that's a simple answer.
Simple.
And
is there anything unspoken to your 3 sons or your dad that you haven't said that you want to say?
No, I just hope that I make them proud every day. But fortunately, Mike, to be honest with you, my father and my 3 kids tell me constantly that they're very proud of me, and that's where it keeps me going, dog. My kids especially my older kids and even my little one, they've grown up watching me do this, and I think you wanted to ask earlier, like, how do they feel about the material? They're fine. I've always been very clear with them, like, hey man, it's jokes, it's on stage. I embellish, I exaggerate, I do whatever it takes to make people laugh. And so sometimes it's gonna be at your cost, but obviously you know your dad, you know what's up, you know? Right. And they get it. They're very smart, and they're like, yeah, they get it. Like, yeah, I get it, Dad. Like, we've been to Chuck E. Cheese, and I get how it is, and so forth and so on. And so, yeah, today they tell me all the time, man, I'm very proud of you, Dad. They do. My dad, every time I talk to my dad, very proud of you. Keep going, keep going. So it's a constant reminder from that. Honestly, it's fuel, Mike. It's just fuel. Fuels me to, like, I don't want to let them down, dog. I don't want that feeling to stop.
Well, I want to reflect back.
Yeah.
One, thank you for teaching me and whoever's listening to this, that your acknowledgement of your father and your sons and that communication is making you a better performer. Because oftentimes we're taught not to tell your father or your sons the truth.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you're being very upfront, like, hey, I'm embellishing it.
Yes.
But hey, I'm proud of you.
Yes.
And they're like, hey, Papa, I'm proud of you too.
Yes.
And that is healing generational cycles, because my grandfather never said that to my dad. I can tell you that for a fact.
Yeah.
And so I want to name it so folks know, like, hey, it may take a leap of faith to actually tell your child or your parent how you really feel, but you're going to get fuel back.
Yeah.
If you do it from a genuine place.
For sure. Yeah, it comes from there for sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to go into our Sacred 5 segment, but before, I want to actually get this. Because one of the things I'm inspired by your story is that you started later. You started at 29. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes I felt like, man, if I didn't make something of myself in my 20s,
that ship has sailed.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
But you're proving the opposite.
Yeah.
And so just want to give some space for that. Anything you want to share?
Yeah, because I think it's important, because like I mentioned, I knew at 13 I wanted to be a comedian. And at 18, I really wanted to be a comedian. But I didn't start till 29. And I tell people all the time, man, I trust me, I wish I started at 21, dog. I would have been a lot more famous, fool, if I was. I tell people all the time. But I'm also glad that I started at 29. Because if I would have started in my early 20s, I wasn't ready for rejection. I wasn't ready to fail, dog. I was afraid of that. I knew in my early 20s, if I would have tried comedy and I would have failed, I would have never came back to it, dog. Because I couldn't take that at that time of my life. At 29, I had a thick skin, and I did fail in the beginning. I was not good for the first year or so. I was bad, bro. Took me a while, but I had the cojones, the stature, the age, the maturity to take people not to laugh at my jokes at that time and come back and retry and attempt it again and again and again.
So no age limit, man.
For sure.
No age limit. All right, Jerry. So these are Sacred 5. So I'm going to ask 5 questions, answer in 1 word or 1 sentence.
Okay.
So first question, name 3 things that make you feel safe, connected, and whole.
Oh, it's got to be Diego, Adrian, Nicolás. My kids, dog.
What a proud dad. Look at that,
Yeah,
bro.
fool.
Yeah, as you should be. Okay. What song, book, or prayer brings you back to yourself?
What song, book, or prayer? I'm a big Tigres del Norte fan. Huge, bro. And a lot of their songs really connect. I know it's cheesy, but I'm a huge fan. There's like América, Tres Veces Mojado, and Ni Parientes Somos are songs that just really connected with me throughout my life, dog.
And why?
Uh, America obviously is it's an immigrant,
Immigrant.
and also Tres Veces Mojado. My mom was from El Salvador, and then Ni Parientes Somos is just a heart breakup of a girl that it's a song that relates to like one day I'm never even gonna know this girl's name, and I'm waiting for that day.
Love it. So, what is one daily ritual or practice that grounds you?
One daily ritual that grounds me is making my own breakfast and my own coffee. That really starts my day off, being able to like just reset the day. And food is my comfort zone, especially breakfast. I'm a big breakfast guy. I love my coffee, my pastries, my pancakes, my eggs, my hash browns that I now learn how to make myself. And when I don't make my own breakfast, I have to go buy McDonald's breakfast. It kind of throws off my whole day. I feel like less of a person.
Hey, I got that. Okay, what's so much of this? I don't know if you feel it, but at least I do. This is a healing conversation. And so a lot of folks are searching for that. And so I always like to ask people, what's one small action that a person can take on their own healing journey?
Acceptance, dog. We all go through shit, and we all go through really bad times, and you have to be able to accept it, and that's the only way you can move on from it, dude. Learning from your mistakes. Yeah, for me, it's that simple, dude. Like when I messed up really bad, dude, I just have to own it and then just grow from it, dog.
Got it. It's beautiful. Acceptance. All right, last one. Ready? Share a one-line blessing or quote that inspires you.
Man, and somebody just gave me a good one, dog, which I really enjoy. It was about, hey, I think I have it right here, dude. Because I retweeted it, dog.
Make you famous, sir.
Yeah, here it is. You cannot expect God to bless what you're too lazy to build.
Say that again.
You cannot expect God to bless what you're too lazy to build. You can't expect God just to give you something if you're not going to work for it.
Ashe. Well, there we go. So before I give a wrap up, where can folks find you? What's next?
IG is the best way. Instagram, comedian Jerry G, at comedian Jerry G. I also have my own podcast called It's Not My Weekend podcast on YouTube. And it's really cool, raw podcast, bro. I literally just talk about my everyday stuff that I go through at shows, at home, at business-wise. Like, it's really cool. We learn from each other. I read people's comments and questions, and it's really dope, man. It's like a vlog. I'm by myself. It's a weekly thing. It's only like 45 minutes, and then I just vent, and people love the venting process that I go through, dog. It's really fun, dog. It's on my weekend on YouTube. That's the best too, man. And then obviously, Perrito's World National Tour is going on right now. And any shows, just Instagram, my link tree, all that stuff,
there.
bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry, it's been absolute honor. Every time we're in conversation, I always just want to reflect back some things that stood out to me. And there's a couple things. Number one, I want to honor you as a father.
Thanks, big dog.
As men or as fathers, we oftentimes don't appreciate or acknowledge or say, thank you for being a good man. Thank you for being a good father. And I want to say, not knowing your 3 sons, but just feeling this energy, like, thank you for being a good man. Thank you for showing that we could be vulnerable, not just on a stage, but in real life. And I know we're in real time trying to figure out what does it mean to be a man in this generation, because it's different than ours.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for your ability to use humor, to bring our guards down, to have really honest conversations that we need to have. And my prayer really for both of us, for all of us, is that we could be this open and honest and accepting of each other, not just when we're performing. And you are in that journey. And so I just want to say thank you for that. And also that, you know, you could be 30, you could be 40.
Yeah, it's never too late, dog.
And it's never too late.
Never too late.
And so thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this.
Oh, for sure. Thank you, Mike. This is awesome, bro.
Yeah,
Appreciate
and we'll be supporting you every step of the way.
Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. Saying likewise, bro. Congrats on your book, too, fool.
Thank you.
For sure, big dog.
All right, man. Sacred Lessons is a production of iHeart's My Cultura podcast network, Sacred Lessons Media, and the Prince Group. For more of your favorite shows, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.